about you, but this time of year really makes me think about my personal style. Part of this has to do with putting away my summer clothes and taking out my fall and winter clothes. When you do that, you look at everything in a new light. You can see what maybe looks a little bit shabby. You can see what you're really excited about wearing again, and you can also see where there's gaps. It's the gaps especially that I'm really interested in, because as someone who either thrifts, buys investment pieces, or makes most of her own wardrobe, the gaps are important because I have to really be mindful and considerate about how I fill them. I really want to make sure I'm having a cohesive wardrobe, and so if I am bringing any new pieces, I want to be mindful that everything kind of works together and is fairly cohesive. Since making my own clothes, this has become something that is more top of mind and something that I think about a lot, because choosing fabric, choosing a pattern, choosing a fit, all of those things take up a lot of consideration and really make a big impact in the final product. So that is what we're going to get in today. We're going to talk about how sewing has impacted my personal style and how making my own clothes along with knitting has really changed how I've dressed over the past few years. Before we get into that though, I would love to say a big thank you to today's sponsor. Ana Luisa is the sponsor of today's video, and I'm really grateful to be working with them again. As I mentioned, I'm someone who's quite mindful about what I bring into my wardrobe, and that really extends to my jewelry. I've been wearing these hoops nonstop. I'm not usually like a hoop person, but I love the sort of different shape of these. They're a bit of like a funny oval, and they've got a bit of like an organic shape to them. I've also been wearing this little pendant constantly. I love layering it with other necklaces or just on its own. And I love that Ana Luisa makes sustainable jewelry as well as jewelry that lasts long, because that is really the aim of what I'm going for, is bringing in pieces that will last long and that fit in with my wardrobe and add little accents. And I think that you can't have a video about personal style without talking about accessories, and jewelry is one of the main ways that I accessorize. So thank you again to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. If you're interested in shopping Ana Luisa, I have a code and a link in my bio, so go check that out. Now let's get on to the video. The main way that making my own clothes has helped me find my personal style is that I don't go into the shops anymore. The thing about going into the shops is that every store you go into is going to curate looks for you. When you go into any of the big stores, Zara, Aritzia, H&M, they're gonna have full manicured looks put together. Essentially, they're trying to make you buy as much as possible by taking away the guesswork. And I think for a lot of people, that works, and that's totally cool. And I used to shop like that. But the thing is, when you shop like that, there isn't a lot of room for discovering your personal style. You can go in and you can buy something and maybe you pick up one piece, but chances are you want a full outfit, or you are going to take it home and maybe pair it with something similar that you have at home to what is at store. And so you're not really curating as mindfully as you might think that you are. And as a result, you're having the same personal style as a lot of different people, this sort of prescribed style that comes from the mannequins and that comes from the merchandising of the store. When you make your own clothes, you have to make them piece by piece, and it takes some time. It's slow for the most part. And so you have to really think about, is this something I'm going to wear frequently? Does this have a special occasion? Or, is this something that fits in with the rest of the things in my wardrobe? Or is this something that I want to build the rest of my wardrobe around and make more things that will fit with it eventually? Those kind of questions really ask you to think about your personal style. And while you can definitely, make things that are on trend, I definitely have, and while you can make things that are maybe more popular or are emulating a certain trend or emulating even trends in the sewing community, for the most part, I think the whole process allows you to really think about what you've made. And as a result, if you do make something that you realize is not part of like your personal style manifesto or is not really part of your personal style goals, it's really a strong learning, I think, because it really makes me think about like, oh, okay, why did I make that? And I can really consider where it comes from, and it really gets me thinking about the whole process a little bit more. The second way that making my own clothes has helped my personal style is that it really makes me think about my measurements. It has really helped me to embrace my body and make things that will fit my body, not make things for my body to fit into. I can, go on a measurement by measurement basis and make things as I go that fit me where I am at the time. And I think it has really helped me with my body acceptance. It helps me also think about my proportions and what I want to draw attention to with my clothes, and maybe what I want to take away attention from, not in the traditional sense of, what's flattering, but in a way where, I can dictate how I want my clothes to fit, what I want them to emphasize or de-emphasize. And I think that's really cool too. And when clothes fit your body well, that alone really enhances your style. That alone has enhanced my style. People will say to me about my Jenny overalls that I wear all the time, those overalls fit you perfectly. And they do. They are my perfect fit because I made them to fit me perfectly. And that alone is the thing that I find really can take your outfit to the next level, or your style to the next level, is when things look like they're made for you because you are making them for you. That's something that's really cool about tailoring and about sewing your own clothing, is that element of your personal style can really come out. The way that you want clothing to shape your body, or the way that you want clothing to fit around your body or on your body, is a reflection of personal style in itself. Another way that making my own clothes has helped my personal style is that I've been documenting my outfits since I've been sewing my own clothes. So even whether or not I've made an outfit, since I've started to make my outfits, I've been dedicating time to showing what I'm wearing. And because I've been doing that, it helps me have a catalog of my wardrobe so I can see different outfits. I can also see the gaps a little bit more clearly. I can see the colors that I lean into. And when I'm selecting fabric and when I'm selecting, different colors and shapes and all of that, I can look at it and be like, okay, you know what? I've got enough blue in this silhouette, or I've just got enough of this shade. Maybe I've got to complement it with some other shades, and I can be a little bit more deliberate when I'm picking my clothes. And I can be a little bit more deliberate when I'm picking the clothes I want to make. You can definitely do this, without making your own clothing. I think for me specifically, taking photos of my outfits, showcasing the things that I make, has really helped me take another look at my wardrobe and really helped me just see my style evolve and see where it stayed the same. This one is a bit of a double-edged sword, but what I have really loved and had the hardest time with is that you get to choose every element of your clothing when you make it. If you're knitting, you get to choose the yarn, the pattern, the fit. Same with sewing, you choose the fabric, the pattern, the view that you're making, the fit of it. There's so many things that you can change and modify and adapt, and there's so many patterns that you can choose. That is really overwhelming, but that also can add to a really cool sense of personal style. You can I feel like pretty quickly you could start to understand if you like prints or solids, and then you can make choices based on that. Or maybe you love prints as an accent. Maybe you like neutrals, but you add like a pop of color, or vice versa. Maybe you're more of a color person with some neutrals here and there. I think that, having that deliberate sort of act of picking every element of your clothes, deciding from the beginning to the end, can be, for a lot of sewists, one of the most challenging parts, because you have to make all of these decisions and you have to know all these different things. How is this fabric going to work with this pattern? How is it going to drape on my body? How is this color going to look? But as you start to know all these things, you can really make something that suits you to a T, just because you made all the right design choices that you know are good for you. And I think that is so cool. That's something that I have never really gotten over, and something that I get excited about all the time. The last few points I wanted to mention is that not only do I shop a lot less, but I take a lot better care of my clothing. I really take care of how I'm washing my clothes. I primarily either hand wash or gentle cycle on my machine. I hang almost everything to dry. I am really careful about mixing my whites and my colors, keeping those separate. I really care about mending things as holes come up, because I want everything to last. And also when I'm shopping, I want to make sure I'm bringing in things really carefully as well. Anything that I bring in, I really want to be doing it mindfully. And so I want to make sure that the things that I like, I am taking care of, and I am making them last as long as possible. And I want to make sure that the things I'm bringing in are really thoughtful and fit in with the rest of my wardrobe. But I also know that sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes I make things that I don't like. Sometimes we buy things that maybe weren't exactly the right choice. And that's all okay. It's all part of the process. And that is the last thing that I've learned about making my own clothes, is that everything is a part of the process. It is a constant learning. Things are going to change. Your personal style is going to change. It's going to evolve. Mine has evolved into something I'm really happy with right now, but it might change again, and it probably will. And that's totally cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes. So I'd love to know how you feel about your personal style, how sewing or making your own clothes or knitting has helped with your personal style or changed it. Maybe what are your personal style goals? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And if you like this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. It goes a long way. If you want to subscribe to this channel, we're here every week. And I want to say thank you to today's sponsor, Ana Luisa. As a reminder, you can shop Ana Luisa by clicking the link in my description box. I've got a little code there for you to check out, and you can shop any of my pieces. These ones, as I mentioned, are my favorites, and I've just been wearing them constantly. Honestly, these hoops, if you look at my Instagram, they are in constant rotation because I just love them. And they're a nice weight, and they just are such high impact for something that is quite simple. Anyways, thank you again for being here. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.